Alright, so today I'm going to be showing you how to make a clay mug, like this one right here in my hand, using the slab method. So the slab method is when you're rolling out flat pieces of clay and fitting them together to make your mug or a piece of pottery. We're going to be using slats today and a rolling pin. And we're going to start with this slab of clay. It's about 1 inch thick and it's about 2 pounds. You're going to place your slats right next to your clay and you're going to start rolling. You want to make sure your slats stay as close to the clay as possible because we want to make sure it's long enough for the walls of your mug. So I'm going to flip it over, roll it out a little bit more. So the purpose of the slats is to give you an even thickness on your slab, and you'll know your slab is ready to start making your mug because you'll hear a sound of the rolling pin rolling across the top of the slats, and the clay won't push anymore. Alright, so now what we're going to do is take this template, kind of line it up as close to the end as possible so you can have some extra for the bottom of your mug. And you're just going to cut it out. And I'm just using a popsicle stick that's been cut off on the end. Alright, and I'm going to leave my extra over here because I might need it in a little bit. One thing you want to think about how you want to decorate your mug. So there's different ways of adding texture. There's stamps. These are bisque stamps. So these are little stamps I've made from clay and I've actually fired them in the kiln. And there's also texture plates. If you use a rubber stamp like this, you can just press it on the clay, roll a little bit, don't press too hard. Pull it off. Same thing with the texture plates. You can just line it up where you want it to go. Roll. And pull. And with the stamps, all you have to do is stamp. Alright, now we're ready to wrap it around our can. So this is a can. This is going to come out of your clay mold, but it's wrapped in newspaper so it doesn't get stuck in the clay. And I'm just going to wrap it around like this. And just be careful not to mess up those designs you did. We want to make sure we score. So you could either use these little scoring tools I've made, or you could use just a skewer. And you can scratch, and that's going to make sure your clay hooks together kind of like Velcro. You still have to smooth your ends together, your edges together to get a nice smooth seam. Now one thing I like to do is you don't want to push into your clay, it's going to make your walls thin. I like to make like a little bandage. So I just roll a coil, like just a little tiny snake. And I'm going to use that to cover up my seam, and it also helps, and just blend it in. It also helps you from to keep from messing up your patterns that you did, or your textures. Ta-da! Alright, so now place your mug on top of your extra clay. If you didn't have extra, it's okay. You can just ball it up and roll it back out to make the bottom. I'm just going to trace around the bottom and cut it out like this. Okay, now we still have to score it, so you're going to score around the edges. You can use this little tool that I made. Use a little bit of water and around the edges, the bottom of your cup, okay? Alright, then we're just going to smooth those together. Being careful not to smudge your patterns. Alright, for your handle, I'm going to take a little bit of clay and I'm just going to roll a coil for my handle. So it's just a snake. You don't want it to be too skinny. And then I'm going to kind of see how I want my handle to look. And I'm going to cut an angle. Just gives it a little bit more surface area to attach to your mug. Make sure you score the end of your handle, ends of your handle. And I'm going to attach my handle right here. So I'm going to score, attach, and smooth it in. Now sometimes if the clay's a little thin, you can make another one of those little bandages. Or you can take some wet clay and smooth those two pieces together. It's really important that you make sure these are attached really well, because your handle is very easy to pop off if you don't attach it good. And there's my mug. And just write your initials on the bottom. And sometimes it's nice to write what year it is so you know when you made it, okay? And you could even take some more of those stamps and add a few details. Make sure that your rim of your cup is smooth, because if you want to drink out of it, you don't want a rim that's going to hurt your lips. And make sure your cup doesn't come inward, because we want to be able to pull the can out after it dries a little bit. Okay? And that's all there is to it. And now you have a nice texture mug.